Guys, welcome back to another ARC video, Mutations for Dummies. I wanted to show you guys this video as the last one in the series. We recently started playing on PC ARC probably about 2 months ago. And let me tell you guys, if you are on vanilla or you are on console and you've never played with mods before, oh my gosh, it is night and day. The quality of life changes are just night and day. So I wanted to show you a few different ways of getting mutations through modded ARC. I'm going to be showing you guys essentially 2 mods today. One is Structures Plus, and the other is Dino Storage V2. I will put both of them. I will put a link to each one of them in the description below. I'm sure most of you guys who have played modded ARC have are familiar with them. But the first thing I wanted to show you guys is the S Plus egg incubator and what makes it better than the vanilla one. Now, the 2 changes that I have seen is when you go up and hold E on it. The first really cool one is the manual temperature control, okay? Or the automatic, rather. You click on automatic, and this will automatically control the temperature individually for each kind of egg, okay? So even if you have different egg types in the incubator, you guys are noisy. So even if you have different egg types in the incubator, it will automatically choose the correct temperature for each egg type, which is going to give you a 20% incubation boost. On vanilla, you have to manually figure out which temperature is good for the egg, and it will only work for one type of egg. The other really cool change between vanilla and S Plus is the auto hatching eggs. So you can click on auto hatching, and that's what it'll do. It'll automatically hatch the eggs. And if you couple that, see, like it just, you saw that? It automatically hatched those eggs. And then the babies were sucked away. I don't know why this one's not working. There it goes. The babies were then sucked away by this little contraption right here. This is called a Soul Terminal, which is part of the Dino Storage V2 mod. That's what this is, okay? And so what you do with this is you can hold E on this, and it has a newborn auto trap. And with this, once you enable it, any eggs, fertilized eggs, that drop a baby, oh, let me put it this way. Any baby that is born within its vicinity, as long as this has soul traps in it, right, it will pick up that baby and keep it in that terminal, like you just saw happen over there. So those babies are now in here, okay? We got a twins right here, and then here's the other 2, all right? So that's how, that's my favorite version of modded mutating, okay? I use the storage, the soul terminals more than anything else. Now, the next thing I want to show you is the hatchery, okay? Now, I want to remind everybody that these here, soul terminals, are available at level 1, okay? This Bronto is seriously going to come over and mess up my video, right? Is that what's going to happen? Probably. And then the incubator, as you know, is a level 89 structure, okay? Now, these over here, the hatchery, you can get these fairly early in your gameplay. They are, let me see here. They are unlocked at level 30. And I will explain how these work best I can. I don't use these because I like the soul terminals better, but they work okay, all right? And I will show you how. So the first thing you want to do is take out your S Plus structure multi-tool, and we're going to change the whatever it does from structure to dino, and then you can see on it says kill. If it doesn't say kill, Just hit right click until it goes on to kill. Alright? Like that. Now, each one of these will hold 25 eggs. And each one of them will incubate your eggs down to 1%. Alright? Let me turn this off. We don't want the babies to be picked up. But if you have both of these mods, by all means, you can use these together. Absolutely, if you want to. Alright? For me, I just have air conditioners out where I do my mating. The eggs drop, they automatically incubate, they get picked up by the Soul Terminal, and that's how it works. But with these, if you have a tech generator, they will stay powered. That's how I have mine powered. If you don't have a tech generator, you can use defertilizer to power these, okay? Hold an E on them, you will see the range, and the range is pretty big. It's really big, actually. Like, it goes all the way over there, all right? The range is pretty big. You can have it stop collecting eggs. You can view a destroy list. I'm not sure exactly what that is. You can view an ignore list. And that's essentially it. Okay, so then what's going to happen is these are going to collect your 25 eggs. And you can see that they're all down to 1%. Alright? These are all ready to hatch, essentially. Okay? So what we're going to do is our eggs are a 389 is my max level breeder. So we're looking for a level 391 baby. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to open this, and then we are going to, I think we just drop them all, right? Is that how we do it? How do we do this? Do it like this. And then I suppose we could just bring them over here to the air conditioners. Alright, and now they'll all hatch up. And so we're looking, so we got a mutation here, obviously. Well, no, we didn't. So we're looking for a 391 here. And barring a 391, we just want to kill them. So this is a way that you can do this with the hatchery. The hatchery will automatically pick up your eggs and get them down to the correct incubation, or down to 1%, and you can do the rest. Now, I'm on PvE, so I'm using the multi-tool to kill these guys. But if you are on PvP, then you can just have like one of your creatures kill them or something. I'm not sure. I don't think that'll work on PvE. I could try it. Keep in mind, guys, this is my first time really using the hatchery here. I really kind of wanted to show you the other later game stuff. So let's see if we can't kill these guys with a creature. I don't think you can because it's PvE. I can harvest the dead bodies, but yeah, because it's PvE and no. So anyway, yeah, these are all. You can just check them. Claim them and check them, guys. If you know of a faster way of doing this with the hatchery, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, you're looking for whatever number you're on. For me, it's 391. I personally like the Soul Terminals better than this, and you can use them at level 1 as long as you have obviously soul balls, and that takes a lot of crystal. And it doesn't look like we got any 391s here anyway. I'm sure there's a better way of doing this. At least, maybe PvP is just better on PvP. But yeah, you would just keep doing this until you found a 391, or a mutation rather. Alright. So that is essentially the hatchery. We only got one more. And I am going to harvest them with the Giga. So that is that, and so yeah, the next thing I'm going to show y'all is called the propagator, and that's this thing right here, okay? And this works interestingly to me. Right now it's not working at all because I'm lagging. Okay, we'll wait. So essentially the propagator, which is, hold on. Level 111, so it's beyond max level. You're actually going to have to get extra levels in order to unlock this. But it is worth it. Oh my god, is it worth it. So essentially what this says is it breeds dinos from cryopods. All creatures will produce eggs. That's important to remember. Cryopods will not lose charge, must contain adults, and genders cannot be changed with a mating cooldown. This consumes one element for every... I'm not sure what that means, but I'll explain the element part. So essentially, you can put lots of dinos in here, and it will give you an egg for every single one of them, even a male. Okay, so if I had 2 males in here, it would give me 1 egg. Alright? Not 2, just 1. I have 1 male in here, 10 females, so here's how you set this up. I do not have any element in here. So we're going to put some element in here. So essentially, the way this works is for every 1 element, we're going to prepare dinos, we're going to start breeding. Alright, so for every 1 element that you put in here, each one of these is 1 dino that's in here, okay? For every 1 element that you put in this box, you are going to get a mutation worth 2 points. And you have a maximum of 10 element that you can spend per dino. And you can, in your I&I settings, you can change that as well to make it more or less expensive. For my server, and I think it's standard default, it's 1 element per mutation. Or I should say 1 element per 2 points. And 10 element max. And what do I mean by that? So for a vanilla mutation, every mutation you get is worth 2 points or 2 levels in that stat. If I were to put 10 in this box, for example, this dinosaur right here, Perfect F1, which is a female, is going to get 1 mutation in one of her stats. But the mutation is going to be worth 20 levels because I have paid for 10 mutations, essentially. Okay? So, it could get 20 points in any of the stats, but it will only count as 1 mutation. For me, because I don't like to cheese the system quite that much, I like to just get the 1 mutation worth 2 points. And this is how I breed, okay? So then what I do is I have 1 element for each of my 10 females. Each time these females give birth, or drop an egg rather, the egg will show up here in the inventory, and each egg is guaranteed to have 1 mutation worth 2 points. Now I'm going to start breeding. You can view the breeding process here. This shows you how much time is remaining until they will breed. When that is done, they will breed, and like I said, you will get 1 egg with 1 mutation worth 2 points. So for me, I am working on my Tech Rexes. I have 14 points in, or 14 mutations in health and 16 mutations in melee. So I'm looking for a regular mutation in one of those two. So that's what I'll be looking for when the eggs are in here. I'll be looking for basically either health or melee. And when that happens, I will show y'all, and we'll be right back when that happens. All right, so we are back, and we're at the propagator, and we got a few eggs. And so we're going to look through these. And so we look at our male breeder right here, and he's at level 475. So that means we need to find a level 477 egg with either health or melee as a +2. And what's cool about this, obviously, is you can see all of the stats on your info here. Okay, so here's a 477 right here with +2 in melee. So we did it right away. There's another 477 with a +2 in weight. And then that's it. So then we can just delete all of these eggs just by going down to destroy all. And then we have our next mutation from that. So I'm going to throw out that egg right here to incubate. I could put it in the incubator as well. Both of those would work. And then I will show you guys how I use soul terminals. Actually, you know what? I'm going to teach you guys the mutator first. So here we have my last mutated Paleotherizinosaur. And if you look in the upper left, you will notice that it is a female. So that's the first thing I want to show you guys, is you can change the gender of adult dinos with the mutator, okay? The mutator is right over here. And so all you gotta do, this thing has several modes in it. So I'm gonna toss out my Therizino, but I want to go through the modes with you guys. First of all, the mutator is unlockable at level 105. And then the propagator is at 111. Okay? So the mutator you can actually get just by playing the game without ever getting more than the max levels, because max level is 105, I believe. And the propagator is better, obviously, and I kind of explained to you why the propagator is better for at least mutations. Okay, so there are several modes to the S+ mutator. The first one is swaps the gender of nearby dinos. The gender swap dinos will be immune to further gender changes for 6 hours, and it will not work on any dino with a mating cooldown or that has been granted a random gender by the mutator or is not an adult. So you cannot swap the gender of babies, okay? Obviously, I do this because if I get a mutation on a baby girl, then I don't throw it away. I don't have to wait for a mutation to be on a male. I can just keep the girl and then change it to a female or change it to a male later. Every single time you pulse this this mutator, it costs 10 element. That's another thing you need to know right away. Okay. Next mode is grants a random gender to nearby genderless dinos. That lasts 6 hours. It can be refreshed by subsequent pulses. The gender will not change when buff is refreshed. Does not affect mechs or non-adult dinos. So what this means is, if you have a dino that does not have a gender, for example, like a Maywing or mechs or creatures like that, this pulse will grant them a gender. Okay. And the next one grants nearby dinos the ability to breed that normally cannot. All dinos conceived this way will be gestated. Some dinos do not have a baby state and are birthed fully grown. They will fall under the mesh unless they are elevated. Does not affect mechs. Corrupted dinos are non-adults. This is a really good one, because this allows you the ability to breed dinos that cannot breed normally, like Rani Ignatha or mechs or, basilisks. Yeah. The next one is sets the imprint of nearby creatures to the player who activated the pulse. So I think what that means, if activating player is the imprinter already, then it will increase the imprint quality by 20%. So essentially any babies that are out will be imprinted by you. Next one is stops nearby dinos from aging. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I have a feeling it means that it does not get XP anymore, I think. Causes nearby non-adult dinos to grow much more rapidly. So you got to be careful with this one, because if you use this one, it does make your babies grow much faster, but it can mess with your imprinting. Okay, so you just be careful with that. And if you want to use this with the nanny, for example, the nanny can automatically imprint the babies or whatever, but it may not. It may not get the last imprint, so you'll have to possibly do that manually. But it's a good way to grow your dinos faster. Again, this all cost element. The next one is sends out a pulse of radiation that causes nearby dinos to lay mutated eggs or gives birth to mutated offspring. Multiple stacks increase stack gain per mutation. This is the one where it's essentially what the propagator does. The more element you have, it'll pulse out to every single dino that is within its range, and each one of those dinos will lay a mutated egg. The more element it has, so again, like the propagator that we talked about earlier, it does 1 or 10. Wait a minute, yeah, 1 element per 2-point mutation. So if you do 10 element per creature, then it's going to give you 1 mutation for 20 points in each egg. And so the difference between the mutator and the propagator is the mutator makes the dinos have to be placed. Okay? They have to be placed. They can't be in the inventory of the mutator. The propagator, you can just put all of the animals in cryoballs or cryopods or soul traps, put them in the inventory and just breed them that way, or mate them that way. This makes you put them on, place them in the world, and then it sends out a pulse. Okay. And this one we already talked about. So swaps the gender of nearby dinos, which is what we're going to be doing for this Therizino. So we're just going to go ahead and pulse it. You'll see it'll get a little symbol there. Look away, look back, and now it's a male. So we're going to grab Therizino that's now a male. And we're going to place him with the females. And then I will show you my operation in here as the last part of this series, and how I check every single day whether I have mutations. So again, I keep them all hitched. That way they will breed while I'm away. Just copy settings to nearby Therizinos, and then we're good. So now I have 5 soul terminals there and 4 soul terminals here that are all collecting babies. Alright, now I also have air conditioners strategically placed in the corners of the building, right there. So that way, no matter where an egg drops, it will incubate. Alright? And then between all 9 of these soul terminals, they reach this entire building. I also have a second floor up here where I'm doing a couple other species. Obviously, I have more space that I could be doing more, but this is where I'm at right now. Alright, so this is how I check. We just go through our soul terminals. All of these soul traps in here represent 1 baby that has been born since the last time I played on the server, which was last night. So essentially we just go through and we're just looking for, like, this is a 381. It's funny because this goes for the color mutation series video that I did. This is a mutated thylacoleo. It's got a +2 in oxygen, which obviously I don't need, but it has a color that I really like. I love purple, so I'm going to keep that because it has the 207 purple color. Then when I'm done, all I got to do is destroy all the souls. And what's great about destroying the souls is you get the XP as if you killed the dino that you just destroyed the souls for. So this is a great way to level up your character as well, because you're literally getting kill XP for every soul that you destroy. And so all you're going to do is just hover over 298, so I'm looking for 300, level 300 Shadow Mains. I'm looking for level 320 Megatheriums. I'm looking for level 381 Thylacoleos, and I'm looking for level 319 Dasplitosauruses. We don't have any of those there. Alright, so Feroxis is a new creature that I just started with. And they are obviously broken. Yeah. We're gonna have to go back and look at them because they're alright. Let's just very quickly. 34, 33, 38. Yeah, they're not the same. We're gonna have to start them over. God dang it. Alright, so all Feroxises are not viable right now. I made a mistake. Alright, so again, I'm just scrolling through looking for mutations. 320 on Megatheriums, none. 381 on Thylacoleos, none. Daspletosaurus, 319 is what we're looking for, and we don't have any of those. So we can destroy all of those. On to the next. Again, the Feroxises are broken, sadly. Alright. We're not, you know what, we're not gonna get rid of them though, because I can probably get my perfects from them. Alright, so here we have a level 300 Shadow Main with a +2 in melee. It's a female, but again, we can use the mutator to gender pulse it. So we're keeping that one. And the only way that would be obsolete is if we found a male 300 with melee or health. This is a male 300, but it's in weight, right? Yep. And we have a 320 in food for Megatherium, so not needing that. 320 in food, Megatheriums, don't need it. We're looking for 381. We got a 381 Paleo Thylacoleo with the 2 points in melee. It's a female, so we'll keep that one. 381 male with 2 points in food. We don't need. 319 Daspletosaurus is what we're looking for in health. There we go. We're on a roll this morning. Okay. Okie dokie. So we're going to keep that. 300 Shadow Main. 300 Shadow Main male with 2 points in melee. Perfect. 381 Thylacoleo oxygen. 319. No. Okay, so that's done. So because I have 9 of these soul terminals with 300 soul traps in each one, that's 2,700 babies I could get before I need to check these. Let's see. Just going through quickly. 381 melee. Alright, so now we have greater Uties here as well. 325 is the number we're looking for, but not in oxygen. So that's no good. 300, 381. All right. 318. Nothing there. Okay, nothing there. And nothing there. Okay. So then what I do, since I have multiple babies to choose from, I have a terminal off to the side where I keep the extras just in case something happens. So I have, let's see here, I have 2 Shadow Mains, 3 Thylacoleos, and a Displetosaurus to choose from, okay? So unless the female has a color that I really want, then I am going to keep the male. Okay, almost every time, because that's going to save me 10 element from having to swap genders, right? So the male, this one here is actually a dye, so we can get rid of that one. That's a color one. So now my choices are between, they're both 74 in melee, but one has that color and one has this color. So I'm going to choose the one with the 14 because that is black, and I like black. And so we have our 3 that we have gotten. Shadowmane, Thylacoleos, and Displetosaurus. So then what I do is I grab the old breeder from each of those species so these will stop mating. We don't need them to continue mating because we have mutations for them now on the next generation. So I just take them, the 3 that I don't want breeding anymore, and we put them into a different terminal where we keep all of our breeders and anything that we have to do with our lines. That way we have all of the dinos in case we need them for whatever. Like if something rolls back or you make a mistake, you have the dinos, okay? And then we are going to go out. And I have my nanny here. This is the last thing I wanted to show you guys. She is pretty awesome because if you're not familiar with her, she can imprint your babies, okay? And she feeds them too, up to 15% maturation. Really, really helpful. That way you don't have to mutate the animal, imprint the animals, right? So let's see here. We're gonna do this Shadowmane. So then what I do is, because I have a bad memory, I write down what I'm going to name it. This one's going to be 8H49. That's 8 mutations in health for 49 total points. And then 9 mutations in melee, 9M62. And then we toss the Shadowmane out. And we name it that. So that means we have 17 total mutations on the Shadowmane. Alright, the Displetosaurus is now at 10M63, 17M73. Beautiful. Name him that. That way we can keep track of all this as we go further and further. And last but not least, we do the Thylacoleo. And the Thylacoleo is an 8H64 and 10M74. Now, I started the Thylacoleos and the Shadowmanes at the same time, and they both have the same amount of mutations. So that's interesting, too. But yeah, that is Mutations for Dummies, guys. This is how you do it with mods. It's super easy. The quality of life with modded mutations is so much better. Obviously, you can decide how easy you make it. You can make it so that you have one mutation that gives you 20 points in a stat. For me personally, I don't like to cheese the game that much. I keep it at one mutation for 2 points just because I still want the game to feel somewhat natural, even though I'm getting a mutation every egg or every birth. But the good news is it's still giving me RNG, right? So I still have gone more than a day on the propagator before I got the mutations that I wanted. So there was still an RNG effect to it. But you know, this is also forcing me to have to go get element all the time, and element can be problematic if you're on a map like Ragnarok. You know. But yeah, that's Mutations for Dummies. If you enjoyed this video, please show it some love. This took some time and effort to make, and if you'd like to see more like this in the future, please you can go ahead and subscribe. And if there are any specific videos you would like to see, please let me know, and I can start working on them. I will catch you guys down the road.